Hi, it's Jen, and we're back for round 2 or something. So, I'm on a Shel Silverstein kick, as I said in my last video, just really inspired by the guy. So, what's on my mind today is the topic of connection, and sort of has to do with fitting in. All right, cut. I'm going to start off with the poem, and you may have heard it, and that's fine. So, this is by Shel Silverstein. It's called The Oak and the Rose. An oak tree and a rose bush grew, young and green together, talking the talk of growing things, wind and water and weather. And while the rose bush sweetly bloomed, the oak tree grew so high that now it spoke of newer things, eagles, mountain peaks, and sky. I guess you think you're pretty great, the rose was heard to cry, screaming as loud as it possibly could to the treetop in the sky. And you have no time for flower talk now that you've grown so tall. It's not so much that I've grown, said the tree. It's just that you've stayed so small. I love that. I love that. We could take the rose's perspective. We could take the tree's perspective. We can take the ideas that we've created as human beings and say small is less than large, tall is better than small. We can add all of that judgment to it, or we could just take it for what it is and look at it. There's no judgment on this. There's just the experience of it. The rose is perfectly fantastic as a rose. The tree is perfectly fantastic as a tree. The thing is that they grew similarly at one point, and then that changed. And it's hard to change, and it's hard to have things shift, and it's hard to lose people that we used to be alongside. But some people aren't supposed to stay there forever, right? I've heard that there are relationships that stay with us for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. And it's not up to me. It's up to that little seed that was planted in them, right? Both of these grew, but one was a rose bud seed and one was a tree. They were never going to be the same thing. They had different purposes, different destinations. And you can't come to me and tell me Happy Valentine's Day and bring me 12 oak trees. Please don't do that. A rose could never do the things that an oak tree does. It could never be what an oak tree is. It'll never be the wood that people build furniture from. But a rose, so sweet, so beautiful, so delicate, with thorns. And so neither is better or worse. They're just different. So just be different. It's okay that we're different. But the human stuff that gets in the way is if the rose feels insecure because the tree is doing things that the rose can't do or doesn't do or wasn't meant to do, and it starts telling the tree, you think you're so special. You think you're better than me. The tree's like, just being a tree. Good to see you, buddy. Does the tree need to apologize for that? Does the rose need to apologize for that? No. They just have to appreciate the difference. Does it make sense? I love that poem. I love that poem. So I guess again, it's about accepting that we are all unique, accepting that we all have our purpose, trying not to spend our lives churning desperately the valuable breath we've been given day to day, or the limited amount of energy that we have in a 24-hour period, trying not to be what we're not to fit in. Don't be a rose and your whole life wish you were an oak tree. What a waste of a rose. Don't spend your whole life born an oak tree, wishing you were a rose. Just be a tree. I love the idea of people getting comfortable enough with ourselves to just appreciate each other, man. Just really appreciate each other.